बाबा आ रहे हैं तो जाओ।
सोनू
We request all audience members to kindly be seated and maintain decorum. The event is about to begin. We request the guests to kindly be seated and put their phones on silent. We also request you all to refrain from clicking any pictures during the event. We would like to inform our patrons that today the event is scheduled to take place in 2 segments. The first segment will be dedicated to the book launch of Shirdi Sai Baba, An Inspiring Life, followed by a short tea break. And the second segment will be dedicated to the official release of the digital music album of the Gadwali Sri Guru Bhagwan. To mark the beginning of today's auspicious event, we would request Kumkum Masi Ji to escort our beloved Baba and guests of honor for the lamp lighting ceremony.
Online? This is online. लगाना शुरू होता है Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, guests of honor. As a humble token of our gratitude and love, may we please request the Saika Angan table to felicitate our chief guest, Reverend Baba, and our guests of honor. Masi Ji and Sonia Ji to please offer Baba a stole and bouquet. Kiranji and Yaminiji to please offer Attorney General of India Shri R. Venkataramaniji with a token of our appreciation. Anuji and Shaliniji to please offer CEO HarperCollins India Shri Ananta Padmanabhanji a token of our appreciation. How does a tiny speck of matter ever attempt to chronicle the magnanimously vast universe? In the same way, words can never suffice in being able to describe the benevolent presence that Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy Ji is. A noted scholar, best-selling author, philanthropist, spiritual thinker, musician, humanitarian, and renowned recipient of 6 honoris causa from acclaimed institutions, Baba's journey has been a seraphic inspiration that permeates through boundaries, physical, temporal, and mental. His unceasing efforts to spread the sacred teachings of Shirdi Sai Baba by virtue of the widely recognized Sai movement is a divine continuum that only keeps growing and touching millions across the globe. As a multilingual writer, he has over 60 books on subjects like Vedic astrology, astronomy, spiritualism, Guru Shishya tradition, saints, and various other spiritual religious themes. Apart from English, his books have been translated into major Indian languages like Odia, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu, Gujarati, Assamese, and so many more, along with foreign languages like German, Slovenian, and many more in the pipeline. He has been instrumental in setting up of various community service centers in India and abroad for the alleviation of the poor and deprived. He has also established innumerable schools, health and veterinary care centers. Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy Ji has many accolades to his credit. To mention just a few, on 24th June 2015, he was invited to open the United States House of Representatives, USA, with a prayer as a guest chaplain. The King County of Washington, USA, declared the 13th of July 2023 as Sri Guru Bhagavad Day in recognition of Baba's magnum opus, Sri Guru Bhagavad. The cities of Seattle and Bellevue, USA, have also issued proclamations announcing 13th of July 2023 as Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy Day. Despite his colossal contributions in the fields of literature, art, culture, humanitarianism, and of course, spiritual teachings, Baba remains as humble as ever, continuing to tirelessly work and inspire us all. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you an audio-visual clipping humbly showcasing the force that Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy Ji truly is.
Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy, a notable philosopher, author, humanitarian, and spiritual thinker. In 1972, he was selected for the prestigious Indian Police Service and was conferred the prestigious Police Medal for Gallantry, Police Medal for Meritorious Services, and Police Medal for Distinguished Service during his glorious professional career. Dr. Satpathy has chosen the medium of writing books, delivering speeches, encouraging art, culture, classical and devotional music, for assimilating and amalgamating different cultures and communities across continents. He is a multilingual writer of eminence. With many titles in English, Hindi, and Odia languages, Dr. Satpathy has written more than 60 books on cosmology, cosmogony, philosophy, Indian culture and spirituality, life and teachings of Shirdi Sai Baba, as well as other saints of India, in English, Hindi, and Odia languages. Many of his books have been translated into Indian regional languages and 5 international languages. Dr. Satpathy, an accomplished lyricist, has written and composed many spiritual renditions in Hindi, Odia, and Sanskrit, which are available in more than 40 music albums. Leading music houses of India like the Times Music, Saregama, and T-Series have released some of these albums sung by renowned Indian singers. Over 250 spiritual and philanthropic centers created under the inspiration and guidance of Dr. Satpathy across India and other countries like USA, New Zealand, Australia, UK, and few countries in Europe are engaged in charitable and philanthropic activities like conducting health camps, distributing food and clothing to the needy, and running charitable dispensaries, etc. Dr. Satpathy has inspired the organizations under his patronage all across the globe to come forward and assist those who are needy. Financial assistance was provided to Starship Foundation, Auckland, to help flood-affected people of Fiji. In Dallas, USA, under his patronage, financial assistance was provided to Lily Foundation. He is the chief patron of leading educational institutions like Shirdi Sai Public School, Moradabad, Uttar Pradesh, Sai International School, Bhubaneswar, Odisha, and Silver Oak Academy, Shirdi, Maharashtra. For his scholastic achievements, he has been conferred with honoris causa from 6 Indian universities. Mr. Phil Goff, Honourable Member of Parliament, Mount Roskill, Auckland, New Zealand, facilitated Dr. C.B. Satpathy as Outstanding Global Humanitarian in 2016 at the Global Shirdi Sai Devotees Summit. OSUK, which was established 42 years ago to look after the social and cultural needs of Odiyas settled in the United Kingdom, facilitated Dr. C.B. Satpathy in 2017. Dr. Satpathy delivered a talk on Indian spirituality and culture, relevance in the contemporary world, in 2017 at a special event organized in the House of Commons, London. WASITRAC, Washington State India Trade Relation Action Committee, honored Dr. Satpathy with the Building Bridges Across the Nations Award in 2012 for his immense contributions in connecting the whole world through his literary excellence and humanitarian endeavors. Recognizing the role of Dr. Satpathy towards spreading the core values of peace, respect, and compassion towards all, he was invited by the US House of Representatives to open the House session on June the 24th, 2015 as guest chaplain. This is a unique honor ever bestowed upon an Indian citizen.
O Lord, by your will, we are born in different nations, speak different languages, and follow different religions and cultures.
In the year 2016 in Dallas, USA, Justice John Edward Payton facilitated and honored Dr. Satpathy on the occasion of Dr. Satpathy's first speech as guest chaplain at the US House of Representatives. As many people who have had a long-standing relationship with him say, even a short meeting with Dr. Satpathy may change one's life forever. Walking hand in hand with people of all strata of society, Dr. Satpathy has touched everyone to the core with his unique way of belongingness and benevolence.
He appeared in Shirdi, he served the people, and he conquered their hearts. The essence of these historic words fortuitously captures the emotion that the book, titled Shirdi Sai Baba, An Inspiring Life, has truly become. The only one of its kind, this celebrated literary work details the life of the great saint of Shirdi in the most comprehensive and articulate manner till date. An authoritative scholar on the subject, author Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy Ji, has painstakingly delved into rare archives and made known hitherto unknown information on Sri Sai Nath and his life. And this is one of the most unique characteristics that makes this authorship a force to reckon with for generations of devotees, spiritual seekers, academicians, students, and so many more. With these words and a humble prostration, Baba, may we please request you to officiate today's book launch event. We also request our guests of honor to kindly join Baba. May I request Preeti Ji to please offer Baba the book release box and Mehak Ji to bring the book tray along. Baba would also like to felicitate our guests of honors. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, guests. I would now call upon Sri Abhijit Narayan to offer us a glimpse into the wonderful creation that this celebrated authorship is.
Jai Shri Sai, Jai Shri Gurudev. My pranams to Shri Sai Nath, Revered Guruji Shri Chandra Bhanu Satpathy Ji, Mr. R. Venkatramani, the Attorney General of India, Mr. Anant Padmanabhan, the CEO of HarperCollins of India. Wishing everyone also the very best on the auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima. A couple of weeks back, we had the opportunity of doing a soft launch of this book. The idea was to briefly introduce what the book is all about. We thought that we'll choose a more auspicious date to do a formal release. That was Baba's idea. And today we are doing a formal release of the book. When we did the soft launch, I talked about a couple of coincidences or divine will, the way you want to take it. Today I'm not going to talk about any coincidences, but I'll start with an observation. As Ahana was mentioning, that Revered Guruji Chandra Bhanu Satpathy Ji has been associated with many temples, both in India and abroad. The very first temple that Guruji was instrumental in setting up happened to be in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. What is interesting is that Mr. R. Venkatramani, who is the Attorney General of India, although he was born in Pondicherry, but he did his schooling, his legal studies, all in Tamil Nadu. Mr. Anant, I confirmed with him, is also from Madras, Tamil Nadu. For me, this is an observation, but I'll be not surprised if you think that this is... around the end of 2020, I reached out to Anant and the idea was that should we explore writing a book? Anand, I don't know if you remember, I had reached out to you on Facebook, and his response was that he's a very experienced publisher. His response was that there is a lot of literature available on Shirdi Sai Baba today in different languages, as we all know. Guruji has himself contributed to many books talking about different aspects of Baba. The last book, of course, the new findings of Baba. But Anant agreed that there is at least space for one more book. But when we were discussing, I don't think either of us thought that the book that we'll end up with will become the most comprehensive book ever on Shirdi Sai Baba. I must say that it has been only 2 weeks that we did a soft launch. The book is available on Amazon. It's available across 500 bookstores, I'm told, across the length and breadth of this country. It's of course also available at a number of Sai temples that Guruji is associated with for the last many years. What we are hearing, the feedback that we're getting from different devotees from different parts of India and also abroad, is that it's a very unanimous feedback that we're getting. The feedback that we're getting is that this is a masterpiece. It's a must read for all Sai devotees. It's a book which is important not only for all Sai devotees, but also for people who are doing research on Baba. I think it would be useful for them also. But the feedback that really got me intrigued, and that was not one feedback, actually there are a bunch of feedbacks like that. On Amazon the book is listed, so whenever I have time I go through the reviews. The one feedback that I think is common is that what people are suggesting, the people who have read this book, is that this is a book that portions of this book should be read daily. Now, I don't think it is appropriate for me to comment in terms of what that means. Baba knows it, and time will tell us. As devotees of Shirdi Sai Baba, we all know that there are some aspects of Baba which are completely shrouded in mystery. Like, where was he born? Who was his first guru? What was his religion? Where were his parents? These are very, very sensitive topics because the faith of so many devotees across the world are attached to this. But those of you who are familiar with this book now would know that Guruji has done a very fine balance in terms of both diligently analyzing the facts, and there are a lot of facts, ranging from the time that British Raj we had in India, the kind of report that they were writing on Baba, the spies that they had sent to Shirdi to keep a watch on Baba, and also trying to keep the sensitivity intact. I think he would admit, when he speaks later in the day, that there was a team that was supporting him, but he was also ably supported by his own rich experience, first as a student of political science, then as a teacher of political science, 36 years of Indian police service, and more importantly, since 1989, he has been leading the global Shirdi Sai movement, inspiring so many temples. When you have so much experience just coming together, I think the result is for you to see. Still early days, but we are in discussion with a number of publishers who would like to translate the book in different languages. We have already received one offer in Gujarati language. The publisher, we have spoken to him. They would like to print as many as 1,000 copies in the first go. And I was like, this is nice, but what is your marketing strategy? He said, we are not talking about Gujarati people only living in India. We're talking about Gujarati people living for many decades in Africa, many Gujaratis living in the US. As you know, I have studied in the US. So in the US, a lot of motels are run by Gujaratis. A lot of, the grocery stores are run by Gujaratis. So there is a big market to be tapped. And equally, a large number of Gujaratis are also living in London, especially in an area called Wembley. So there is a big market. But our assessment is that the book will especially do well in 3 main languages when it is translated: Hindi, Odia, and Telugu. We are very fortunate that Reverend Guruji has kindly agreed and has offered to do the translation in Hindi and Odia himself. Baba, with your permission, I would also like to share that he has already initiated the translation of this book in Hindi language. Still also very early stage. There is a discussion about having the book converted into an audiobook. The idea is that somebody who's sprinting across the Brooklyn Bridge in New York, somebody who is taking a nice stroll in the Hyde Park in London, or somebody who is just enjoying the nice traffic that we have in India, they are all able to listen to portions of the book in the form of audiobook. So that is in the making. I think it's important to talk about the international outreach. Ahana mentioned, I also mentioned that the number of temples that Guruji has inspired both in India and abroad. There's several temples that have come up, Shirdi Sai temples that have come up in US, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Many of them are in regular touch with Guruji. They regularly visit India and meet him. And when Guruji goes to the US, where he gets so many recognitions, he also meets them. As we speak, a large number of books are being sent to these temples. And if somebody can just put a slide of the message that we have received from the minister in Mauritius. As I said, we're very delighted to have this best wishes from Mr. Alan Ganu. He's a minister in the Mauritian government. Many of you may not know, Guruji for the last 3 or 4 years now has been closely been in touch with Minister Alan Ganu, who actually traces his roots to India. His forefathers left India, I think, about 175 years back. And Alan Ganu, Mr. Alan Ganu is also a Sai devotee. And interestingly, just a few weeks back, the Bhumi Puja of a large Sai temple has been done in Mauritius with the guidance of Baba, Guruji. We also have Mr. Arun Hardian. He's the ambassador of Suriname to India. Arun has been regularly visiting Sai Kangan, interacting with Guruji. And the idea is not just to talk about what Indian culture is, what Suriname culture is, and how we can bring them together. But the idea that Arun and I, with your liberty, with taking your liberty, the idea that Arun and I have been discussing is that we have to plan a visit of Guruji to Suriname and some other South American countries. Suriname is interesting because, it has a lot of people who trace their roots back to India, including the president. Jai Shri Sai, Jai Shri Gurudev.
Thank you, Abhijit Ji. The second largest consumer book publisher in the world, HarperCollins Publishers, has long been bridging the gap between generations of readers and authors. HarperCollins Publishers India has published some of the finest writers from the Indian subcontinent and around the world, publishing approximately 250 new books every year with a print and digital catalog of more than 2,000 titles across 10 imprints and an array of genres. We are happy today to welcome the HarperCollins India team, CEO HarperCollins India, Mr. Anant Padmanabhan, and Associate Publisher, Mr. Sachin Sharma. Thank you for joining us this wonderful evening. May I now please call upon the HarperCollins India team to illustrate the journey of the book for our eager audience.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devu Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namaskaram and Om Sai Ram to everyone present here. My name is Sachin Sharma and I publish books at HarperCollins India. I don't think there can be any better occasion to celebrate the release of this book than Guru Purnima, especially about a guru, a Sadguru, who guided millions of people to the path of righteousness, to the path of enlightenment, and of course, to the path of Anand. As a publisher, I must tell you about the genesis of the book. I know Abhijit was speaking before me and he almost stole the thunder by telling you much about the book. But one thought, that comes to mind when you think about Sai Baba and books on him. So, as he was mentioning that, in the 2020, I think we had, Anant and I met Dr. Satpathy, Abhijit and their team. So one thought that came to our mind was that, there's so much literature available on Sai Baba, including, as all of you would know, the classic Sai Satcharitra by Hemant Pant. So why another book? Frankly speaking, for us, it was a fairly easy decision to make, and why not? Why not when you have an author like Dr. Satpathy, his academic rigor, his scientific temper, they bring great value to the table. I haven't seen anyone leading, this torch of Sai movement across the world like Dr. Satpathy. So when you have an author like Dr. Satpathy, when you have a protagonist, and might I say a subject like Sai Baba, there is so much written on him, yet there is so little known about him. There is so much enigma surrounding him that even after more than 100 years that he left his material body, this enigma is still so powerful. People would love to know more. There is still so much hunger in devotees and others, And of course, last but not the least, the treatment of the subject. You see, finally, when we have talked about almost all books on Sai Baba, there may be an element of what we call a devotee's bias. And why? Because they're all written with bhakti ras. And when you put bhakti ras in a thing, a non-devotee may think, there is kuch logic ki kami hai, But, well, when you talk about Dr. Satpathy, you think of objectivity, you think of logic, and that is exactly what separates this book from others. So readers will get to know. There's so much in the book, and I don't want to reveal anything else apart from maybe 2-3 points. And this is because you, as readers, would want to take a look at the book, read it, and talk about it. So the readers will get to know for the first time why the British intelligence of that time was spying on Shirdi Sai Baba, and what did they find, and why the income tax department of that time would collect income tax not from Sai Baba, but from his devotees, his closest devotees. So all of us would know, or most of us would know, that Sai Baba, before going to bed every day, by the time he slept, he had donated whatever he had received throughout the day. So the Britishers were smart. They would not collect any tax from Sai Baba, but they would collect it from all the devotees. You'll get to know about this in this book. And of course, there are many such interesting facets from this book that were previously unknown. So this is a book that is going to give you many aha moments. Many aha moments like, oh, ye to hame pata hi nahi tha. So I think a brilliant book, a brilliant package, and I'll come to the cover in a bit. I think it's natural for ordinary humans like me and like others, to think that, oh, I published this book, I published that book. But I must tell you something, that the Lord has his own way of getting his things done. When the time comes, when he wants a book to be written, he collects all his squirrels and connects them together, and these squirrels work to creating a good book. Now, everyone who was part of this book in any way would agree that there was a higher power at work, seeing all this through making this book possible. I'll give you an example. A case in point is our designer who illustrated the cover for this book. By the way, the illustration for this book was created from scratch. This is not a computer-generated image. This is an artist called Mohit Suneja, who has designed this absolutely mesmerizing this cover. And what our brief to Mohit was, that Mohit, many people know Sai Baba. There are some conventional images of Sai Baba. There is an image of him sitting on stone. So, jo log devotees hain, that is fine. But how do you make sure that the cover appeals to the younger audience, the next generation, the youth. And Mohit, you know, lo and behold, has come out with this amazing photograph of Sai Baba sitting in a field with the clouds and the mountains. I don't think I've seen a better image than this, frankly speaking. And guess what? We later found out that Mohit Suneja is also a Sai devotee. And, I mean, let truth be told, yours truly, who's standing beside you, in front of you right now, talking about all this, has been a serving priest at a Sai temple for some years. So I think the Lord has his own way of collecting all his squirrels and getting his work done. But the work that you see here, I can absolutely, with confidence, tell you is timeless. This is a work done for generations. And lastly, as publishers, we understand that we are a medium, we are a madhyam. We connect a reader with an author. You know, we publishers and authors spend a lot of time and effort to create something. Our work is truly appreciated when you, the reader, spreads the good word. And there's an appeal, consider it an appeal, a request to everyone. You know, all of us, when we think of a gift, we might think of a wine or a perfume bottle or maybe an expensive watch. But next time you're thinking of a gift, please consider this book. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sachinji. And now we take this opportunity of welcoming amongst us Attorney General of India, Shri R. Venkataramaniji. Sir has been a senior advocate in the Supreme Court of India and a lawyer with an experience spanning over 42 years of practice. Shri Venkataramaniji has practiced in various branches of law, prominently constitution law, law of indirect taxes, human rights law, civil and criminal law, consumer law, as well as law relating to services. Throughout his career, he has represented various clients, including the central government, state governments, universities, and public sector entities in both the Supreme Court of India and High Courts. Additionally, Mr. Venkatramani has also been a member of the Law Commission of India in the years 2010 and 2013. Sir, we are pleased to have you with us this evening and may we please request you to kindly share a few words.
How do we begin an evening when love and beauty in wonderful ways, in ways that blend beyond one's imagination, greet you? So I find it difficult to share my thoughts because I find something very profound in which I am drowned. I am so drowned that my thoughts, like a piece of wood floating on a river which carries it where the river flows. I think the river flows somewhere. And me as part of all of you today, let me greet my wonderful sisters first, the creamy layers of our nation, and may pay my respects to each and every one of you here today. And a Guru Purnima Day has so many connotations, and we began with the invocation, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam, Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loga Shankaram. Anyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Chalagaya, Sakshuran Milademena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Is how we invoke the Guru. The Guru Purnima Day in a way is a day of blossoming when your heart, your mind, all that part of your being here blossoms to be part of the larger universe to which the Guru is a guide and beyond description. And we as a nation can definitely say that this tradition or a treasure of a Guru Sishya is something so wonderful that is available only in our country. And I suppose that by assembling here on Guru Purnima days, we not only assemble in a day, but keep remembering this day throughout our life, year after year, day after day. And that's how I suppose our soul grows, our minds grow, and our compassion relationships, expand in as many ways as the Lord would like to have it happen. So I'm here not as the Attorney General for India, but as a small squirrel. The word squirrel was used, and that's how I think myself, that there are squirrels in our country who carry big burdens. I carry a small burden as a small squirrel. And today's evening has been a great invitation to me. Abhijit is a newfound treasure for me. And we met only a couple of months ago on some evening like this. And he has been virtually, I wouldn't call it chasing me, but I think it was a divine chase. And asking me to come here for a couple of occasions which I could not really, respond to. But today I think it was irresistible. Irresistible because I had nothing to say to resist. Therefore, once you have nothing to say to resist, you are here. So I thank Dr. Satpathy, the Guru in which you see in all wonderful, manifestations, for calling me here today, and Baba to make me present, to be with you, each and every one of you, as the wonderful soul, the children of God. I have quite a few books of Baba in my library. I've been reading them sometime years ago, and then you forget, and then you pick up some other books, keep reading about the great saintly, figures in our society, in our great nation. And just to share how certain things happen the Lord's ways. So somewhere in 1997, when I went to Kanchipuram to see the university, and newly, building university by the Kanchi Mutt, I was sent to the library to look at the rare manuscripts. So many of us who have read a book of Paul Brenton, Search in Secret India. So I found about 16 volumes of notebooks there. I randomly picked up one volume and flipped through some pages, and one page, one possible, one piece of writing attracted my attention. It ran something like this: association with saints and saintly figures is like a ripe fruit falling at an appropriate time. I have a wonderful fruit today. Thank you for calling me here today. This wonderful fruit is, I'm sure the taste of the fruit will live with me for long. And before it, I think it evaporates, the taste evaporates, I suppose I'll get one more fruit to see that the taste never, fades away. Therefore, it's wonderful to be here today. I wouldn't like to be a big speaker in an evening like this, because I've heard about Dr. Satpathy many years ago, and many common friends have been speaking about him. There have been occasions when I thought I'll go and meet him, greet him, but it never happened. But I think it's good. It has happened today. And I'm so glad, probably it will continue to happen many more times in my life, as many times as he wants me to be with him, share with him my little thoughts of beauty, love, and compassion. And that's how I think all of us live together. I know all of you during the COVID period were locked down, in so many ways. We were locked physically, but of course, like our minds keep wandering. And many of us had the opportunity to wander through our minds beyond the little confines of our bedrooms or bathrooms and things like that. So I had occasion to write some pieces of poetry. And most of the thoughts were around how, when you're locked like that, we had the blessings of the God to think more and more about the universe, more and more about the bounties of the universe, more and more of how human beings are so blessed to be a part of the universe. So a journey with the universe is, I think, which many of us had occasion to experience during lockdown. And I suppose that lockdown was, in my understanding, was a brief lockdown. I think we can experience the lockdown if we want to experience it every minute, and keep experiencing the bounties of the universe every minute. It all depends on our mind. I think that our body has two parts, like eyes are two, ears are two, hands are two, legs are two, mind and heart are different. So when the mind and heart blends together, there's a wonderful combination, wonderful union. So when the mind and heart live apart, then there's a problem. Therefore, our scriptures, our teachers, our gurus, all our wonderful literature has talked about how the mind and the heart being together, we can make the world a wonderful place to live. I suppose occasions like this ought to remind us and to tell us that keep your mind and heart together in ways nobody can destroy. And this book is an example of how Baba made that possible for many of us. I am indeed thankful for the invitation once again. I would like to conclude my short interaction with you today evening by an invocation to the nation. All of us belong to this nation, a wonderful place. And I keep reminding myself that a duty to the nation is a duty to humanity and vice versa. And I look at the world around us with so much of poverty, inequality, we try to deal with all that. But much more important is how we are able to become part of resolving problems around us. And in a way, the life of Baba has been an exemplary illustration of how you can quietly, silently be able to serve humanity. I'm sure each and every one of you have that wonderful potential. And that's why I think all of you are here. So let me conclude reading with this little piece and take your love and your affection with me as part of my evenings being here today. O nation, brave and beautiful, in thoughts profound and resolves sound, in deeds quick and actions swift, in the chorus of our unity, let us ride. O nation brave and blissful, reel till your hearts feel, dump all the garbages of your minds, in petty cages locked. Did not the Lord in Gita say, someone who does my work, those who lay down their works in me, exalting me with malice towards none, comes to me? O nation brave and bountiful, let each one of us be a Noah of modern times, and be the arks of great fiber and space. O nation brave and benevolent, what greater temple can you build for Lord Ram of reverence deep than the sharing of your lofty cares for the weak and the infirm, the distressed and the disabled, the poor and the distraught? Let compassion light all corners of your mind and heart. O nation brave and buoyant, in solitude you learn, in isolation you learn, in chains drawn on all motions you learn. All lives are one. And learn to play new patterns of life. O nation brave, with all thoughts in compassion drawn, let us march. I suppose today's evening is a march of compassion. Thank you so much for invitation.
Thank you so much, sir. And now, the moment that we all have been eagerly waiting for. We lovingly request Baba to please grace us all with his words of wisdom and blessings. Baba.
Jai Shri Sai. Jai Shri Sai. Welcome our guests. Devotees and others. I never thought of writing this book. The other book that you saw, I think Ghai published, New Findings of Shirdi Sai Baba. I had enough material for 5 books, but I never thought that I would write the book. Nor calculated. No. I am satisfied with myself writing anything for the masters. Some people thank me when I give a speech. I'll tell them, you need not thank me. There are half a dozen people of the US sitting here, there also. Because when I'm talking about the master, I'm being happy myself. It gives me an opportunity to speak about my master. There is a pride of your own love, ego that you don't destroy. And Baba's activities, as I know in the world, there's a gentleman who get it from Germany, Chinese, they're going on, they'll go all these languages. My other books are going, where they declared cities in my name. Gentleman is here. The book is just a part of my devotion to Shirdi Sai Baba, not full, just a small part. To reach people, make people understand the correct perspective, and not turn him to a miracle man. One of the biggest mistakes we do is very difficult for a man in faith to convert, to reason, and keep that balance. Is a painful exercise, but one has to do if he wants to bring him before those people who have every right to question. Using Oriental, Occidental hyperboles from a podium and justify the wrong thing, whatever it is, a story, a character, a picture, paint, whatever, is the first thing that the Sai devotees don't do. I'm in a Sai mission mode. I have nothing to do with proving anything. How did I write it? Why? Of course, our friend. We have a team. We are 30 years, we are a team. Here, everybody is a team. You can come, everybody is a team. We have no differentiation here. बाबा जब रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं कैसे करते हैं मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में बोलूँगा वो I think everybody listen all over the world. The man who approaches you is the first indicator. I loved the way we talked today. First indicator is who is coming to you how. उससे मुझे पता चल देता क्या होगा. I met Anant Padmanabhan, their chief CEO. He was so polite that I thought, yes, Baba is giving me a call. Give him a clap, he is the man. I'm equally happy that Baba is concluding this function because our Attorney General of India is here. He is very, you know very much Mr. Venkatramani, but absolute down to earth. Anything in devotional line is egoless. Call it your intellectuality or intelligence, whatever you like. If you are indicating ego, there is something lacking in the devotion. And bigger things happen through devotional propulsion. As propulsion has to be devotional, intelligence has to use, rather than the intelligence being the main and devotional propelling. That's a very wrong idea. You have the IS, IPS officer, army chief, you find here, all the educated group here, full of them. There are much, much more than many of them, but they all have accepted it, so we are going. Thank you, our ambassador, Mr. Surinam, Ram Juhar, your president, for calling me to come here. The whole gamut of Sai Baba, over a period of 100 years, what was written was what was recorded at his time by somebody asking from everybody secondary information, tu bata kya hua. Correct. And when a book has a faith, you can't contradict faith. You need not contradict faith. Many things I am not giving because it will contradict faith. I will not give that much that will not contradict faith. But join, add its tenor. In the research of 30 years, for example, my friend, there is a painting of Baba, done the biggest one, that was thrown somewhere about 15 years before I got it, 20 years before, and got it paid about 2.5 lakhs, somebody gave it here. With those who make it up, that the photo is here, you can go and see. That's a painting which originally nobody has seen. Some items are with me which people can't imagine. I have a list of items of 200, 300 people can't imagine. Only being a devotee of Baba is sufficient and claiming to be. You have to work hard for it to get truth. That's what I've been telling everybody, the writers. Even I told the Shirdi Sai Sanstha, why don't you open a chair in the name of Baba or university, something you have not done. So I'm not going by light talks on Baba. No. Book comes, doesn't come. Because I'm with the devotees and devotees are with Baba, they know what it is. The main point, two, coming for future. Research is necessary. If your book will go to people, researchers, I'm very sure it will go to researchers. Southeast Asian studies or something. Anybody doing a research has no choice but to refer to this book. Not egoistic, but I know the materials. Because you have to give us a fundamental. Where are the documents? Where are the reports? Where are the basic? I say I'm a devotee and see a dream. And I think that dream is true. Good enough for me. But it cannot be marketing strategy because my dream is true. Or I thought, imagine Baba like this. No, sorry. We'll come to that point by point later. Next book. Whosoever publishes. Third point. If I say that I did my work, no. I was supported by Mrs. Asa Kapoor Mehta, the professor in economics. He was in the very well established. Sachin, Jain Saab, our Minnu and Guru, all over we joined. We don't take any decision. I show it to the kids also. We go to kid group, I show them. Kids, do you accept Baba to be this? Do you think this is Baba? If the kids don't agree, imagine that is the correct thing. I'll give you the responses of the kids also very shortly. Kids, 5 years to, sare kids yahan baithe ho kya? They are all joined. You read this book and give me your responses. Because I'm for 5 years responsible. Baba kaise lagta hai? Baitho. So up to, we have got lawyers. Many of them are lawyers. How many lawyers are here? Please stand up. Lawyers. They are all lawyers. All lawyers. They're all. You be proud of your Attorney General here. Baitho. One of them is Human Rights Commission. This girl was talking. She is considered Human Rights Commission. So we are not limiting to divorcing, publication and editorial or something. That is a part of us. Music, dance, mandir, other thing is second part. Since everything is mixing up, therefore our view is much broader than a writer. I'm not a writer. Writing is part of me. So I go to buy the typical writer attitude. That doesn't suit me. And they all like it. They also know it very well. Here Mr. Nanda has got 2-3 books in his credit. Also written. So, truthfully presentation of Baba. Telling lies to extol your Guru is the biggest crime one can do, I tell them. Never do that. As if you are the advertising agency and he doesn't have the capacity to handle himself, you have to tell lies to handle him. Why people don't do it? No. Then, as I told you, from all countries they are sitting there. Single sentence, that's okay. I'm very happy, HarperCollins. You are a big organization. I had not known, frankly speaking, I was not into Penguin, Pelican, I was not up to that. After I was told, with you, somebody I knew, I purchased a few books. That's your profit. And I read the books, I saw your books. I also tried to know what is the marketing strategy. How much it go. As such, मुझे कोई चिंता नहीं, किताब छपूंगा तो कल सुबह चल जाएगा 10,000, कोई दिक्कत है नहीं. But I was saying, what is the essence of it? I don't want to name the books. But big writers have written. You are very graceful. Yours is very graceful. And I think when we were doing the labor with the team, your team, with Sachin Sharma group there, they labored quite a bit. Kafi इन्होंने main make तक निकाले. And that is good for tomorrow. Still there are about 27. I don't check it. It will remain. Any book in the world, minimum needs 7 times of editing.
टू बी परफेक्ट। 7 बार से कम से तो होता नहीं। ठीक, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी दे इन्होंने मार्केट खाली कर ली। मुझे पता चला कि मैं गया था कलर प्लेस में शर्ट खरीदने, स्टूडियो में गया था म्यूजिक के लिए, पास वाली दुकान में गया तो मेरे साथ कौन था? हुआ विथ मी, तुम ही थे। ये इसी का दुकान के पास। तुम्हारा किस में है? वेरी सिपी। We went to that place. Third day, I went for music of Baba, Gadwali music that you listen. Sorry, second part of this is, we'll finish it now in 5 minutes. Then you have the Gadwali music going on, which I went for recording. I do the recording. And pass kila Jain Book Depot. He went there, we went there. मुझे सब लोग कह रहे थे यार किताब है, मैं कहा मैं भी देख लूँ। मैं जाके सब पीछे नहीं पड़ता। वो देखा किताब ही नहीं था उस फ्रंट में। अच्छा, तो उसको पूछा तो एक किताब निकाला। Third day I think so. That's what is the celebrity of the book or the likable book. Baba के ऊपर people want to know more, but not the hackneyed type of writings. Same miracle, same mollycoddling and mountebanking and all sorts of those thinking. No. And the other thing problematic with Baba is theorizing Baba. गीता में ये बताया था, उपनिषद ने ये कहा था, अद्वैतवाद ने ये कहा था. I can speak all this in Sanskrit because I know that language. I could have written a lot of Sanskrit things. But the people want to know it simply. किसको टाइम है संस्कृत सुनने का? That is where in the 16th century Surdas Tulsidas came, in Odisha Jagannath Das came, in Assam Shankar Devo came, because people got out of this complex Sanskrit and mantra not understanding the meaning. As today they were saying this, इतना बड़े डिवोटी बोल रहे हैं कि उठा के मैं बोलूं जरा उपासनी महाराज का रोज जो तू गा रहा है प्रार्थना बता दे कि नहीं बोल पाएगा। अच्छा 10 बुक पार्टिशन कर रखा हो। नो, सदा आई एम टेलिंग उपासनी महाराज, अंडरस्टैंडिंग विदाउट रीडिंग कुछ नहीं। वो फंडामेंटल एटिमोलॉजी आती नहीं, संस्कृत आती नहीं, क्या समझ लेंगे? Do you understand? Na? If they don't know the etymology of Sanskrit, how will you understand Sanskrit? That way South Indians much better understand the etymology of Sanskrit. I am very sure. So, Baba ke mantra bhi, hey Baba tab aap hamare ho. This itself is a mantra. I love you. Rather than a thing you don't understand. So, many parts are there. I don't say more. Thank you very much for appreciating. I've got a lot of accolades for that. Fine. That is because that goes to Baba, and I believe that. I go by the missionary mode. कि जिनको कराना है करा लेता है, ठीक है कर लो. But first point, अगर सोबराइटी नहीं, मधुरता नहीं तो बाबा नहीं है. बात खत्म. हमारे यहाँ पर इंटेलेक्चुअली को घर में रखे आइए. मैं इतने बड़े बड़े ऑफिसर्स है, मैं कहता हूँ बाबू यहाँ ये सब छोड़ो, यहाँ सब जजेस भी आए, पहले बच्चा बन के आओ, तब साई का बच्चा बनेगा तो बाप जैसे प्रोटेक्ट करेगा. तुम ही अगर सुपीरियर हो गए तो कुछ नहीं होगा. दैट इज व्हाट साई थ्योरी इज ऑल अबाउट. थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड थैंक यू HarperCollins. थैंक यू वेरी मच. I will not be grateful to you, nor you will be grateful to me, because both of us are working for the cause of the Master. Let's be grateful to people who are appreciating our efforts. Thank you, sir, coming and joining us. Thank you all. Ahana for introducing, others for supporting in any way here. We go for the second session. Jai Shri Sai.
Thank you so much, Baba, for yet again inspiring and blessing us all with your words imbued with divine erudition. Lastly, we cordially invite Masi Ji to please deliver a vote of thanks. Once segment 1 concludes, we will have a short tea break, after which, within about 15 to 20 minutes, we will rendezvous again for the second segment, which will be the digital music album release of the Gadwali Sri Guru Bhagwat. We humbly expect all of you to please be on time in attendance. Thank you. Masi, may we please have you for the vote of thanks?
Jai Shri Sai. On behalf of Sai Kangan, I take this opportunity to offer my pranam and reverences to Sri Sainath Maharaj and our mentor and guide, Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy Ji, whose latest and most comprehensive book ever written on Shirdi Sai has been launched today at Sai Kangan. No doubt it is a bestseller already. श्री साईं के अपार करुणामयी आध्यात्मिक व्यक्तित्व को गुरुजी ने बड़े ही साधारण और सुंदर शब्दों में कह डाला है कि श्री साईं शिरडी में आए, लोगों की सेवा और सहायता की और उनके दिलों को जीत लिया। आज गुरु पूर्णिमा का पावन दिन है। वैसे तो हर दिन गुरु के शुक्राने का दिन है, मगर गुरु पूर्णिमा के आते आते मन अपने आप ही गुरु की रहमतों को याद करने लगता है और हम सब गुरु की महिमा गाने के लिए, गुरु को धन्यवाद देने के लिए आतुर होते हैं। बाबा, this Sai Kangan is honored that such a magnificent book has been launched here. I am highly thankful to Honorable Shri R. Venkatramani, the Attorney General of India, and Shri Anant Padmanabhan, the CEO of HarperCollins, to have taken out time to grace this occasion by their esteemed presence. मैं उन सभी साईं भक्तों का भी धन्यवाद करती हूँ जो यहाँ मौजूद हैं और जो देश विदेश में कार्यक्रम को लाइव देख रहे हैं। ज़्यादा समय ना लेते हुए, I request the guests on the dais and our special invitees to have refreshments which have been arranged on the right side, this side. All other of Sai family are requested to have the refreshments in the lawn area at the back. Thank you so much. Jai Sai Ram.